to CGpresents, obviously myself, Ebbs, and I'm here with this lovely vocalist. You're thinking, how does he know? Don't worry, I've listened, and you will listen later or whenever, but who am I with, how old are you, and where are you hailing from?
My name is Alice Kubë, I'm from Leicestershire, and I'm 24. Thanks for that question.
Oh, you're welcome. Why, do you not like the age? Does it help if I say I'm 24 as well?
Are you 24?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Have you turned 24 or are you?
I'm turning 25 next month.
Okay, yeah, I'm just a year younger. I turned in April.
Okay, yeah, I'm
so
July,
you're not
July
alone,
15th.
Don't worry, I'm here. I'm sure there's many others watching that are also 24 thinking, no, Alice, it's good, it's good.
Hello.
No, that's good. Basically, like I like to, like I said earlier before this, they wouldn't have known, but if you've seen this for the first time, obviously, we like lightheartedness, we like conversations to get to know who's here. So, red or blue? Not the pill, just red or blue, the colour. Yeah, I don't know why I need to say that.
I feel like I should say blue, but I'm going to say red.
Okay, why?
Do you know what? What comes to my head is that it's more feminine.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's your reasoning. Okay.
Yeah.
I
feel that might be a controversial opinion.
Nah. Do you know what it is? Everyone sees it differently. Mine is like, I see red and I see danger, heat,
anger,
fire. Yeah, even a bit of anger, but just a lot of burning stuff. And then I see blue and I'm thinking, more reserved.
That is a good point,
Do you know what I mean?
actually.
But there's no fixed way to seeing it.
No, blue, like blue sky, something that we don't have today.
Because when you, I know, it's the heat wave, come back, please.
Yeah, no.
But when you say feminine, that knocked me. I was like, yeah, actually, the Louboutins, the lipstick, all that sort of stuff. I was like, yeah, no, that makes sense. So
I just feel as well like blue is boys, red is girls. No,
I know what you're trying to say.
At school, everything was like red girls, blue boys, kind of vibe.
Oh, okay,
so my answer's red.
Yeah, that's good. No, that's good. We're keeping it lighthearted. We're gonna keep actually this flowing because I like this. Hunter or gatherer? So, would you be like, again, island, tons of people, survive? Are you the person that goes and picks up materials, or would you actually get stuck in and hunt?
Is that not the same thing?
No, because
so hunter, I'm going out and I'm going to find like killing the animals,
getting the food,
with bare hands, going for it.
Even weapons, whatever. And then the gathering is literally like
gathering.
Most times you're safe, like wood, just water. Do you know what I mean?
I think because I love animals so much, I literally don't think I'd have the heart to kill an animal.
Okay, yeah.
My friend went to Sri Lanka and she went on this trip. It was like one of those things you put excursion.
Oh yeah.
And it was to kill a chicken and to eat it, eat it and cook it yourself. I was like, absolutely no. So I think maybe I'd be a gatherer.
Okay,
that'd make the home nice for the hunters to come back. Okay. I'm like,
so what if you were on your own? Because obviously now I have that knowledge. Everyone has that knowledge that not hunting, whatever. You'll be happy with gathering. What if you was on your own in that situation? How long do you think you'd last?
Where are we?
Like the same island, but no one's here now. Now we know you're a gatherer, but now, and you don't like hunting, but now it's just you.
How long would I last?
How long do you think you'd last?
Well, if I didn't have my phone, that would be a bit of an issue.
You've got no network, no EE, no 3, no O2.
And I like to talk to people, so I'd probably end up going mentally crazy.
Oh my God.
But however, actually, talking about an island, because that is a question that comes up, if you're on a desert island, what would the 3 things you take with you? Well, I actually was in the Maldives last year.
Oh, yeah.
And I nearly got stranded out there because of COVID.
Oh,
so I was doing a performance out there. I was performing for a client, and I was there for 6 weeks, and they had to fly me home early. But it was when all the airports were shutting down. So there was a slight point where I thought I would be stranded, but it wouldn't be a bad place to be stranded, I don't think.
Oh, okay, yeah, because obviously you'd have your phone, like you said, you and B, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but if I didn't, I'd probably last. Yeah, I'm probably 3 days.
Really?
Maybe. Well, how long would you last?
I don't know, I couldn't tell you, but I think I'd try, man.
I'm not saying that I'd want to just die, but
no, I know what you mean. There'd be so much going on that you just.
Yeah, I'd be a bit grumpy. I'd be like, there's not a nice bed here. There's not a nice phone.
It makes sense. It makes sense in that aspect. So, okay, just to slightly drift from that, still keep it lighthearted. Obviously, you would have probably run through this because everyone wants to know. But obviously, for CGpresents, little Alice running in the playground. Alice, I want to know about the upbringing. How was Alice coming up? Just talk to us about how your upbringing was, school life, childhood and the upbringing.
Okay, so little me at school is what I'm going to start with.
Yeah.
Personality-wise, very much a people's person. Like I didn't really stick to one specific friendship group. I'd always be friends with like the geeky people, the popular people, like all the different crowds. I like to mingle. My family's very much like that as well. And I've grown up with a family that no one's actually musical. Like no one's a musician apart from like my cousin's son. So that's like quite far down the line. He plays guitar and he actually taught me guitar. So we'll get to that point. But so we were brought up. I was brought up with music still. So every week we'd have like dinner parties and our family friends would come over and we'd all be like singing and dancing literally every single week. And it's actually really funny asking me that question because I actually thought, like, my friend asked me, who is musical in your family? And I'm like, no one's actually musical. And then the other day we went out for a meal. In fact, it was Friday, and we all just burst into song and dance at the table. They're like, this is where you get it from. And I was like, oh yeah, maybe actually.
Do you ever like, because obviously I know you're a great vocalist, whatever, your fans will, and people listening when they see these live performances. In those situations, do you ever feel like you have to hold back, or do you just, or do you not enter that such as serious vocalist mode? It's all a lot of more.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or do you feel like you need to?
Oh, no. Karaoke, I sound like a drowning rat, to be honest. Honestly, it's not very good. It's not very good, especially when I've had a drink. I can't sing when I've had a drink. No way. So I have to, I guess, be in the environment to be able to sing. I mean, everyone's always like, Alice, go on karaoke. And I have my one song that I sing on karaoke. It's Run, Leona Lewis. And that I will try. But sometimes you don't want to take it too seriously. You just want to belt it out and probably not just sound that great.
Have you had moments where someone's just come along, surprised you, like in the family, and they sound good, and you're like, wait, what? What's going on here? Like.
Definitely not my dad. Sorry, Dad. My mum's okay. Yeah, my mum's not too bad at singing. I mean, we could go through everyone, but it's really me actually that took it seriously and doing it as a job. So.
Try to find a peace of mind. You keep coming up again and you won't call me, 'cause there's another girl. You said it's not fair. Now she's a part of your world, of your world. So you did the dirty on me many times, not 3 but 4 times. You threw me away, now you're begging to be mine, 'cause the grass ain't greener on the other side. Leave me now, you don't need me anymore. Let me go, you know I'm no longer yours. I'm glad I dodged a bullet when I didn't stick around. Had me waiting up at home while you was all over the town. I feel sorry for the girl that's in love with you now, 'cause you're planning for a future and don't wanna settle down. Oh.
When did you feel like, okay, the career for Alice, like, I want to, you know, make a career out of this? What moment was, what happened for you to go, you know what, this is what I want to do full time? Do you know what I mean? When did that happen?
So that happened when I was in my 3rd year of university.
Okay.
Previous to that, I had done all the talent shows, X Factor, Britain's Got Talent, The Voice. I even done like Open Mic UK, everything, and didn't get to any filming stages in the bigger shows, didn't get through Open Mic UK. And for me, I was doing that from like the age of 14 up until I was 18. And then like 18 is a really difficult age to decide what do you actually want to do, because you're still really young, and I feel like you're too young to know what you want to do.
Of course.
And I had to make that decision. Am I going to go to university? Am I going to go to work? What am I going to do? And unfortunately, I did decide, well, it's great now because I've got a degree, but I did an advertising and marketing degree.
Oh, okay. I was gonna try and because I didn't want to cut you. I was gonna, when you said did uni, I was like, what did you do? I was like, just slide that in. But okay.
So I did an advertising and marketing degree because I thought my confidence had completely gone with music. I wrote a couple of songs before on piano. I teach myself piano, and I'd wrote a song when I was 16, and I just never really had the confidence to share that. So by 18, I was like, songwriting I don't feel that confident with, singing I don't feel that confident with, maybe it's just like not for me. So went to uni in Manchester. I had a great time still, don't get me wrong, and I think I did a lot of growing up then. And I probably needed that, but it wasn't until my 3rd year when it was my final project, and I was what did I have to do? I had to create a sandwich brand. And I just thought, this is not me. This is not me. And I thought it was the start of 2017, and there was a competition that came up called Britain Does Variety, which is like a smaller version of Britain's Got Talent. And I thought, Joe, I'm just going to go for it. I did that, and I got through to the finals. And at the finals, I am going to get to it. This is answering your question still. I'm not going off task.
We love story time, guys. This is why we're here. Go on.
Got to the final, and in the audience were scouts for professional jobs in like 5-star resorts. Ships. What are they called? Cruise liners.
Cruises and stuff,
and I was actually scouted to go and sing in a 5-star resort in Tenerife. So with TUI.
And you, how old was you at this point? Because in my head, I'm running it like a
21.
Story. Like,
21. So yeah, I had quite a bit of a gap. I did do a few open mics in that time, but then I'm 21 and I'm thinking, I don't want to go into an office doing a 9 to 5. I can't do it. And I want to do music. So yeah, that was, getting that job for me was like, hang on, this could actually be like my full-time thing. And I hadn't discovered sort of the whole releasing my own music and like studio time. At that point I hadn't even recorded my own song. So I guess really I'm quite late.
Is it? I mean, do you know what? I wouldn't say late, because I don't like to put a time on anything, because you know when you was talking and you said you know, you said you're 24, then now you're saying the uni thing. It's even me, I'm looking at it and I'm like, that's exactly how you know, you said at 18 you felt like this. I felt like that, and I went to uni, and then like I'm 24 now, and it's only last year I was like, no, I want to do this. Within the last year, and you know, I look at myself and go, oh, it's late. But when you think about it, it's just, sometimes it's just the right timing. I don't think late exists.
Well, no, but like, do you know when you're sort of like 15 and you think, yeah, by 25 I'm going to have my own house, I'm going to have kids, I'm going to be married. What? Absolutely not. Like, I feel 20s are for figuring out everything. I don't actually think probably you really know where you are until 30 maybe, but that's just maybe how my life's going. It might be different for other people, but especially as a musician, upcoming musician, it's it's quite, it's not exactly a grounded job. So I'm kind of just like exploring the options at the moment. But so that's when I decided that it was going to be my actual professional job at that point.
That's good, man. Because I was listening to that, and I'm sure people watching this will, because you'd be surprised. Like for me, for example, because how you said you're not sure how it might be for other people. I've got loads of mates did the uni. I went to uni, leave, and it's like they're only then realizing like they've got postgraduate depression. They're only then realizing like, damn, I don't want to do this. And they've got the people that didn't go that route saw that they could be creative and attack stuff like, not, I want to say early, but obviously because they didn't do this and that, they've got there first, and now they're okay, and this, that, and it swaps.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like everyone's really, you'd be surprised how many people are going through similar things. So it's nice to hear that, to be fair.
I think so. And I think the reason I wanted to go to uni as well, because that was like, that's just a known thing to sort of do. Like that's the structure of what society wants you to do. You go to school, then you go to uni, and I do need structure in my life, which is really weird being a musician, because there's no structure. I was just about to say, I was going to get onto that. Yeah. So that's why sometimes like my mood is up and down, because it's just not consistent. Yeah. But that for me was the most consistent option to do. And I wish in hindsight I'd done music, but it's not a bad thing to have a marketing degree either, because as a musician as well, you are your own brand, like you literally are a brand. So having all like those skills for like social media, and even just being able to communicate with people like professionally and stuff like that, that's what I've probably learnt the most from uni.
I think that's good, because I was going to say, even if, let's say, you didn't take the degree and feel like, couldn't do much with it, even if you didn't see it like that, I've always said the experience and the growth, like you said, because I feel like if I didn't go, there's no way I'd be, obviously it sounds so cliche, but I wouldn't really be the person I am now and see stuff the way I do, because man, I reckon if I didn't go, I'd be, now looking back, I'd probably be even more lost. Yeah. I'd probably be more tied into following this. Yeah, and just literally, I'd probably trap myself in a box a lot earlier than I would have wanted to, sort of thing. So that's why I'm kind of grateful for uni, because then it made me feel a way and then kind of pushed me to kind of do something. And I kind of hear that in your thing. It's like you had the project, and you're like, nah.
And the independence of moving away on your own as well. I was like, cooking, like,
is it?
Yeah.
At home, wasn't doing it much beforehand, or?
Yeah, kind of.
But I guess it's more the whole, you're leaving, because was you living with parents and family and stuff before? So it's like leaving everyone, and now it's like, it's no different to going to a foreign country and not knowing anything there, I reckon. Like, that's the feeling.
And Manchester, I just felt like I was on holiday. It was just such a good city to be in. So I loved it.
No, that's good, man.
Patience to the limit. There's so many things that I'm lacking, but boy, you gotta learn to take your time with me. Time with me, time with me. Boy, you gotta learn to take your time with me. Time with me, time with me. Boy, you gotta learn to take your time with me. You're trying to make me stay, but I had to go. Is it all for real, or is it for show? Could it be a lie? 'Cause I need to know. Baby, can we take it slow? Take it slow. I heard you got a bad reputation, so excuse me for my hesitation. You already know that I want you, but if we're gonna do this, then it's my rules. Don't be getting confused. I don't wanna go through yet another heartbreak, learning from my mistakes, so we do it my way. I don't wanna play games. Only time will tell if we're reading from the same page. Same page. 'Cause I need to know, baby, can we take it? Can we take it slow? Can we take it slow? Boy, I want you, but I just gotta know. If we take this road, there's no letting go. 'Cause we don't know what the future holds. You're trying to make me stay, but I had to go. Is it all for real, or is it for sure? Baby, can we take it slow? Can we take it slow? Can we take it slow?
biggest misconception people have about you? Like, is there something that people, I don't know, say a lot and you're just thinking, no, like, no, like, and it's common, because mine would be, for example, I'm doing stuff like this. Yes, when I'm in places, I'm quite extroverted, but I don't know why everyone slaps me as that's Ebbs, and it's like, no, I'm a lot more like, you wouldn't know. And sometimes, even though yes, that's all I'm putting on, that's what people can see, it's like, it's not really a misconception because that's all there, but it's like, don't put me with that, even though that's what, I wish I could go, no, I'm a lot more, I do like my peace, I do like, so what, is there any like misconceptions? It could be, maybe people just think, I don't know, it could be anything. Some people, my younger brother always gets told people think he's got an attitude because of the way he carries himself, but it's not that at all. So have you got any misconceptions people just have and you think, this is your time to air it out and get all your frustration?
Yeah, okay. This is the one for the guys at the studio.
Okay.
But so the studio that I'm signed to, HQ, familiar, HQ Recording in Leicestershire, where I'm signed to now, and my manager's Yasin. Honestly, he's been amazing in my career. I'm sure we'll get on to that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is very light-hearted, and no one is saying it to be disrespectful to me or horrible, but they do call me a princess.
Oh, why?
I don't know why, and I had this conversation with my manager the other day. I was like, why does I feel like everyone thinks that because I'm very chatty, and I'm very, and I do a bit of Instagram stuff, and I like to look nice, and but I think people just think, oh, it's Princess Alice, like Princess Alice, and then kind of just think I'm maybe a bit.
I was gonna say, she's gonna come and find you and get to the bottom of it. she's gonna get to the bottom of it.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe sometimes I like things doing sort of like there and then, and I'm like, has this been done? Has this been done? And I think people maybe think that because I say things how it is, I will say, if I have an issue, then I will just say it how it is.
I prefer that.
But sometimes people don't. And even my friend Morgan, who actually co-wrote on my EP and the songs that I've performed, she went, Alice, you're rude. And I love it because I'm rude as well. And it's like, I just say it how it is, but I think sometimes it can come across rude. I'm really not.
No. Do you know what it is? No, I know what you mean, because I don't know. Like me, for example, I'd rather, because I don't like the yes man thing. I don't like. I don't know. I'd like to just, because it's like, I'm not gonna take offense to much anyway. Yeah. And I would rather know certain things than I not know it, and then maybe I keep doing the same thing. And when it could have changed then and then if you just told me, and I wouldn't have taken offense to it and anything. But it's like you said, not everyone's like that. Everyone, you know, I think we're in a more sensitive generation as well anyway, so that's probably where you might run into issues.
But like me as a person, I probably come across as this really confident, outgoing person that just say things how it is, and maybe comes across, I don't know. I've actually never been asked this question before, so it's really interesting. It's making me think, really making me think. But there are a lot of times where I'm not confident. There's a lot of times where I'm always like doubting myself, and quite like I'm naturally a negative person as well. And my manager, he made me like watch The Secret and taught me a lot about manifesting, and that's helped me a lot. Like that helps me keep positive, manifesting. And just like putting it out into the universe, what I want, and it really actually does work. But really, I'm actually quite. I think the overconfidence actually hides some of the not confident in me.
Oh, guys, see if you remember what I said. Similarities.
Yeah, so I'm not a princess. I do things myself. I've had a lovely upbringing though, which I'm very fortunate for. But I don't know. That's such a hard question.
Do you know what it is? You've been answering it. So if you're worried about you have been. Answering
I have to criticise myself as well as like bigging myself up in that one.
No, I like the answer because it makes sense. Like it's literally what I said. Like most people will see like one form of you in public or whatever, and when you have that time to yourself, you're behind. You might not. Not that you've lost it, because you can still be that person, but it's like there will be things you probably prefer. How you actually are. When I say that, it's like, guys, when I say that, it's not that we're putting it on. We're not putting it on, but I know what you mean. Like, so it makes a lot of sense to me, and you did answer it.
Okay, good.
Don't worry. But yeah, and sliding into the music then, career-wise, because I look stuff up. Your sound, like it's like acoustic, soulish. R&B pop kind of mix of elements that I do hear it, and bear in mind, like, you're very new for me, and again, like I said before, and new for other people, and I picked up on it, and then obviously I heard the lovely live performances that you guys will probably hear at points of this interview, and it's really powerful vocals. I'm thinking, yeah, the talent's there, everything's there, but run me through like your singles, and we're gonna mesh in the whole busking thing, because I want to make a fat convo out of it, because I'm gonna learn so much from talking about that. But run me through like the songs you've been releasing, kind of like, I guess, your creative process as well, what you've aimed for things to do, because when I listen to your music and the live performances, I've gathered that a lot of your songs, you want them to be heartfelt, and do you know what I mean? So, you know, run me through like just this, you know, your career point up to now in terms of like what you've been releasing and how your mindset, as you know, you've gone through that.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot to go through there.
So you'll manage. We'll break it up.
Okay, so 2019, I wrote a song in the January about my ex-boyfriend. It was called Now I'm Gone. I'd never released anything before. I wrote it on my guitar, my acoustic guitar, and there was this. My cousin works at the Apple store, and there's another guy that works that was actually completely irrelevant, because it was another guy from the Apple store that introduced me to this other guy that worked in the Apple store, so who's a producer. And they were like, oh, we'll get you in touch with him, and I'm like, oh, producer, like, oh wow, and I took this song to him, and he was like, oh, really like it, I'm gonna give it a go. And his name's Jupiter, like, he's literally amazing. He produced it for me, and it wasn't really like, I didn't really know what sound it was. Like, at this point, I've never wrote and released anything, didn't know what to do, didn't have a manager, didn't have anything. Like, how do you even do this? So me and him just like looked it all up ourselves, and then he actually so it was produced in quite an acoustic way, and then he remixed it. And he made it like quite it was like very electronic kind of vibe, kind of like one of those where you'd be in a car, like in America, with the rooftop down, and I was like, I really like this. I was like, I don't think it's quite my sound, but I'm going to do it anyway. So anyway, I'd booked a session at HQ in Leicester to record the vocals properly after we did the demo, and my engineer was Harry, and he was like, wow, like, this is actually really good, I'm going to put you in touch with Yasin, who owns HQ, my manager now. And he heard it, invited me in. He put me on one of the projects that he has at the studio, which is through his other side of the business called HQ Can, and I was able to do some songwriting and singing with him there. And he was like, do you know what, I will help you release this song. So release that song. Put it on BBC, it got on BBC Introducing, and I ended up getting Track of the Week. So at that point, Yasin was like, do you know what, I actually want to sign you. So this was sorry to cut you, but this was early. Like you said, you hadn't released. Oh no, I hadn't released anything. So this was like your first. And then, you know, you've that's really nice to hear, because obviously that's not too far from the whole uni stuff and how you was feeling, and now you wanted to go into it. And now all this has happened. And it's like, no, that's pretty nice to hear. Sorry, I was just thinking how close it was, and like you said, you had no manager at the time. All of a sudden, manager. All of a sudden.
That's why it's just it's nice.
Basically, to put it into context, again, I'd graduated in the 2018, then I did that Tenerife job. So I did that I came back in the November, and I had a couple of months thinking, what am I going to do? And that's when that happened in the January that I wrote the song. And so it was basically like one after another. And then I'm like on a roll now. I've got my manager, I've got a studio. Then I just started writing more, and he was putting me with loads of different producers. And I can't remember then I released a song called Too Late, which was really good, and then that actually ended up with me getting a brand deal with I Saw It First. You heard of I Saw It First? So they scouted me for a competition called First Look competition, and I did a music video, and came in the top 5 in that competition. It's really hard, like, thinking back to my whole career. And then after that, I released another song called Love On You, which was the first sort of R&B, soul type of song that I did.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what's influenced my music.
Oh, okay.
From there. So my third single is where I probably figured out my sound a bit better. And that was the one where like my manager, Dean from BBC Introducing, everyone, my family were like, yeah, you need to do the more R&B soulful kind of vibe. Yeah.
I think that's pretty good because when I listen to that, I think if I just stick to the UK anyway, not just the US as well, personally, because I listen to so many genres, but if I'm listening to, I can listen to R&B and stuff, but neo soul for me, I really like neo soul. I said it earlier, I was talking of, in the last year, Cleo Soul, for me, that whole, you know the Rose in the Dark album, never heard it? You'll like it, trust me.
Like I should.
Gems, anyone else? It's very, you'll defo like it, man. From start to finish, it's just her voice, being soulful, but she's got a lot of, it sounds like live instruments and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that sound is really nice, man. I would have probably said the same. Now looking back at when I went to listen to you and go through, that would have probably been, obviously I didn't know all the in-betweens and what had been happening with you. To me, it's just single after single after single.
Like those first few songs of me basically just trying to figure out what is my sound and what's going to be received the best. But I feel like with R&B soul, there's quite a lot of artists to live up to. Like you've got the big artists like Whitney Houston, who else is there right now? Georgia Smith.
Yeah.
Do you know, just like there's really big names in R&B soul. So I feel like I'm having to, even still now, find like a little niche that suits me a bit better. And I think I might have found.
Oh, okay. Is that obviously? I've got to wait till later. But I'm saying, are those things you found? Are we expecting to see some of those like later and things like that, or is it something that's going to get exposed? Or are you still working on it?
Still working on it. Like there's stuff that so I've got the rest of the year's music all finished, and my EP that will be coming out. That's very R&B soul, which was co-written with Morgan Monroe, who is literally the queen of like R&B soul. She's like a really very talented artist from Leicester as well. And then it's the stuff I'm working on now that's probably finding that niche a little bit more now. There's like Billie Eilish influences.
Oh, okay, that's good to hear.
You don't have to be alone. I know you're hurting from a broken home, and you feel like you've lost control. I know you got some demons to overthrow. You don't have to do it on your own. I can't bear to see you this way. I know that you've had better days. Don't get so held up on your mistakes. Past wrongs aren't the future we make. Late nights with cigarettes, red wine to help you forget. But I'll be here to make things right. I can't help what you feel inside, but I'm gonna try and make you see the shine through your own eyes. Fighting the anxiety feels like you're failing to meet standards of the man that you're supposed to be. I know you don't think you're good enough. I know in yourself you've given up. No, but you'll always be the person that I love. But I'll be here to make things right. I can't change what you feel inside, but I'm gonna rise, rise, rise. Keep going. You are enough. Keep glowing. You're a diamond in the rough. Keep going. You are enough. Keep glowing. You're a diamond in the rough. Keep going. No, you are enough. Keep glowing. You're a diamond in the rough. Keep going. You are enough. Keep glowing. You're a diamond in the rough. 'Cause you're a diamond in the rough. You're a diamond in the rough. No. You're a diamond in the rough. You're a diamond in the rough. You're a diamond in the rough. No. Keep going. Keep going.
Favorite food? Because I love food. Everyone loves food. Cuisine.
Sunday
more so.
roast.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's just no thinking. I think
Can't have one now because I'm here.
I think you're the first one that just like, okay, fair
Sunday
enough.
roast. I've been saying that since I was about 4.
Is it?
Honestly, Sunday roast is my favourite, beef or lamb.
Yeah. Okay. What if you had to pick one?
Lamb.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah, lamb.
Yeah, lamb's too good of a meat, man.
Yeah, why? What's yours?
Oh, mine. I said I don't have a cuisine, but I just really like rice dishes. Like I couldn't pick. I couldn't go a Chinese and Italian. Do you know what I mean? But anything rice based could come from anywhere. I really like my rice, man.
So, like
I don't know
anything
what-
with rice.
So not anything. Let's be careful.
So it could be
Let's
like
be careful.
peri peri rice from Nando's.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Anything with rice.
But not.
Risotto.
I said anything. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, a lot of the right. But because I said anything and she's going anything, not anything.
So what is
but,
your favourite then?
But do I have a favourite type of rice? Singapore fried rice.
Oh.
Yeah.
What would you have that with?
Do you mean like sauces wise, or like?
Is that
just
like
anything?
a?
It's just like a fried rice, but it's like they flavour it. They put like all the assortments of everything in, and it's just, I mean, like it's nice. You get your veg, you get your like not big pieces of meat, but really chopped up. Like,
Oh
do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
nice,
Yeah,
nice.
It's good. It's good. You should-
What is that cuisine though? Is that a cuisine?
Yeah, it's a food on its own, but I think it falls under just Eastern Asian cuisine. I guess, like Eastern
I
Asian
love
style.
tapas.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Tapas is up there with one of my faves. Anything again. Honestly, I would just eat anything.
Just love food, innit? Yeah, that's why the question had to
I
come up.
get so
man.
hangry as well if
Is
I've
it?
not eaten. Yeah.
Oh, this sounds like a Snickers ad.
Avocado on toast in the morning.
No, that sounded like a Snickers ad. I'll be real with you, man. That was nice, man. But we spoke about creative processes. I've got a real feel for like the whole fact that you've took me through your life, and it was like you didn't know at 18 what you wanted to do. All of a sudden now you've won that competition. You didn't have a manager, and now you suddenly got a manager and everything. It wasn't long then, obviously, that gap between not having a manager and then having a manager, because I would have loved to have just said, you know, what's it been like, you know, being under management and stuff? Because earlier, you know, in your head, we were saying you like stuff structured anyway.
Yeah.
And obviously, you're looking at it from 18, you didn't know what was going to be, so you went through with uni and whatever. And now it's like, you know, you've got that, I guess you've instantly got that structure, and you didn't have to go through, I guess, I don't know how to word it, but, you know, stages where it's just you and you're having to really think hard and you know, run into... Do you feel like you still went through that stage before getting management, or...?
Yeah, because obviously I that first single, I was I still did release that by myself and still had to figure it all out. And really, with my manager now, everything's still like very hands-on. I still have to... He like uploads my music and stuff, but I'm still very much involved with every single thing. He basically just says, you be creative, and like he'll sort out everything else. So like bookings for shows, and he like, thankfully he like funds all my studio time and everything, which is a massive struggle for a lot of artists out there. Like without that, I don't really know
how you'd go
how
about
I do, because I have the privilege of going into the studio and being in that environment and being able to create in the studio. And I think environment's a massive thing as well, because you know, everything's there to use. We've got everything there. So for me, in my bedroom, I mean, I love writing on my piano or guitar, but sometimes I like being around people.
I know what you mean.
But yeah, he gives me all the creative freedom, and so really, I haven't,
No, do you know what it is? It was hard to ask that, because then I was thinking, well, yeah, technically even before then, because you went through the phase where it was like, you didn't think, you know, you've entered everything, now you've back, like you technically even went through that, to be fair.
Oh yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? You still was doing a lot technically before, even if you didn't release a single, you were really trying to do something.
And actually, I forgot to say, I didn't actually start music in 18. I've literally been singing since I was like 10. I feel like that might get a bit mixed up there. No, I started singing when I was about 10, because like I said, we had the parties like every week at home and stuff, and we'd do karaoke. And then I actually went to my family one time. I was like, I actually would like to sing you a song. And the first song I ever sang was James Blunt, You're Beautiful.
Oh, okay.
This
song's I love that song, man. I love that song.
From there, then I started playing guitar.
Yeah. Now I'm going to run into that, because we had cheeky convo earlier about the busking that I really wanted to, it's like I've tried to, you know, still keep it lighthearted, which we're going to do, get the music in, but the busking thing was something I wanted to learn, because it's new for me. When did that come about? Because obviously we're going to run into why I got that from the guitar thing, but when did that come about? Obviously, is this, because you said you had your third single managed and everything, did that came later on, like, inside?
It was like, it did. It was always in talks. Like, my manager was like, "Oh, you should try busking." And a lot of people have said it, really. But I used to be petrified of the thought of going busking. I was like, how can I don't know, like, just to sing in the streets.
Yeah, because
to perform in front of people is one thing anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because you won the competition earlier, which you would have been performing in front of people.
Yeah.
The whole street thing, and then obviously with the questions before, we know you can be an extrovert, whatever, but you're more. So obviously, I wanted to know, like that.
Yeah. Is very, like, I'm feeling very vulnerable at the thought of just standing out there in the street. And, like, oh no. But the way that came about was I actually went to London with my friend for the weekend. Might have been about 1.5 years ago, and I walked past this guy who was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And I stopped and I was like, wow. And I was inspired by that, and I went up to him and I said, look, you are amazing. How did you get into this? And he just gave me some advice. He was like, why don't you come back tomorrow and sing a song? I was like, oh my God, this is just going to ruin my weekend now, because I'm just going to be thinking about this. So I'm like, we'll go out for dinner that night. My friend's like, you really should go and do it.
Yeah.
And the next day I went back and I found him. He told me where he was going to be, and he was near Trafalgar Square. And I found him and I sang Halo, Beyonce. People chucking £20 in. I made about 60 quid in that one song, and I was like, yes. And I was like, I'm going to do this again.
Yeah.
So I did it again, and I went down with a couple of guys from the studio, and we were so unorganised. We got down there about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We didn't know where to go, and it started raining.
Yeah.
And it was just a bit of a disaster. So I was like, right. Oh no, actually, do you know what? We actually hadn't charged the speaker.
Oh,
so the speaker wasn't charged.
No backups, nothing.
Nothing. So I'm like, right, not going to let this faze me. Then we did it again, and then I think something happened travelling down there. Like, we just didn't get there until late again, couldn't find a spot.
Yeah.
So I was like, why don't I just try and do it a bit more like local.
Yeah.
So it was I actually had a bit of time off from doing it because of COVID and everything. And then at Christmas, I joined there's like a busking circle.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen a girl called Leona off The Voice.
I might have. Do you know what it is? Because I'm more of a visual person.
Yeah.
Face-wise, I probably have.
Yeah, so she busts in Sheffield relentlessly. Like, it's her full-time job. And I messaged her and I was like, I'd absolutely love to come busking with you. Like, would you mind? So actually, I went up to Sheffield and I met her for the first time and went busking with her, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. And then became a part of like this little busking circle. And I went with a guy called Brad Ryan, and they're all doing really well on like TikTok and stuff. Yeah. And then recently I've just been going to Leicester to busk and Birmingham.
Okay, which is where we are with CGpresents, of course. So with that, I can imagine. Well, I can't imagine because I'm not in there and I can't relate to it too much. But the whole being managed, being signed. I don't know what it's like for you, but like, you'll have the stuff you want to release and stuff, but do you get like told like, you know, by this time, stuff like that, or?
So when I say signed, I've got a management deal with my manager, and I release on his label, which is an independent label. However, if there was to be like a bigger label that came along, so really our long-term goal is for him to remain as my manager, but then if like a major label came along, or a label that suited my music more and had more funding that could push it more, then I'd go with them. So it's not like a strict record deal. It's more management, but I do have a label to release on. But he still like funds all my music videos and basically funds my career, which is like a lot of managers would do that, and that's mainly what a label, like record label, would do anyway. So do I? This whole lockdown, I've been working on my EP. I feel like he hasn't wanted to rush me, but it did get to the point over the last few weeks. It was like, what is going on with this EP? Like, you need to finish it. You can't keep going over the same thing all the time.
This is where I was going to tie in with the busking. Like, obviously now you're doing the busking. Does it now feel like sometimes, because you do the studio releases and the busking, that the busking part brings a lot of pressure off you, because it's like, nothing's expected of you. You just, I guess you go there, you sing, you enjoy it, you see people enjoy it. Obviously, I don't know whether you have like good days versus bad days maybe and stuff like that, but I feel like in my head anyway, when I hear deal, manage this and that, I do, you know, there probably is a pressure and stuff because you're having to do this, even you set your own goals and that, but I imagine with busking it's not like that. I was like, is that now like your escape as well from this? Not escape to say that you dread what you're doing at the minute, but do you know what I mean?
I think as well, because of COVID, not even being able to perform live anywhere else, really, it has been an escape. And it actually, I did a post about it in like before the end of the year, and I was like, I literally was like, thank you busking for giving me like that outlet, because I was going a bit crazy. Like I love it. Like I really love it. Just nice. Now I'm confident doing it. It's so nice. And in the studio, it is two completely different things. In the studio, you have to be on your A game. You have to be like, obviously you're doing these songs that have to sound like, I don't really want to be putting like auto-tune and stuff on my music, which I don't. So you have to get it like spot on every time and go over and over again. So that's more like work, like the recording side of things. The creative and making the song is fun, but the actual recording I don't find as fun. But then the singing and busking is fun. Because it's performing. And then when people actually stop in the street, they've stopped by when they're like going somewhere, like they didn't know you were there, they've come actually you've stopped them in their steps, so that means a lot to me. And there's a lot of people that sort of come up to you and say like, that was great, you've made our day, kind of thing. So that's just very rewarding.
I think it's a nice point to go off. Like, what's been your favourite moment then, I guess, with the busking? Like, has there been anything, because obviously, that happens and it makes you feel good. But has there been any like stand out that you've gone home and you've gone, Mum, Dad, or this, and you've gone, do you know this happened? Like, I can't believe anything that, or just something that stood out for you, it's never going to leave your head?
Well, this one won't leave my head. When I did it in London, I sang Happy Birthday to Gillian McKeith.
Okay.
Do you know Gillian McKeith?
Yeah, that's like my mum.
She's like the doctor. That was quite funny. And I actually went up to her afterwards and I said, I recognised her so much, but I didn't know where from. I asked her if she was my English teacher.
Oh, no.
And she went, are you my English teacher? She was like, no, but she didn't say who she was. My friend was like, that was Gillian McKeith. I was like, what? Like, how random. There's that, do you know what, in Leicester I have a certain few people that come every single time to come and watch me. There's like a couple of like younger girls that come, and when they find out I'm in town, they just come and sit and watch all day. And then there's a guy called Leon, and he just stands and watches me. He's really sweet, actually, really sweet. And then in Birmingham the other day, there was a lovely girl that came up and said that one of the songs we sang was her mum's favourite song, and
Oh,
she
okay.
sadly passed away. So it's very rewarding. Just little things like that all add up to
one
big thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's very nice to hear, man. So with that, going forward, do you feel like you'll ever, I'm not saying, I don't want to say drop, but like, let's say, I don't know, because I feel like looking at what you've done so far, it's just, you've done like really good things, and obviously in a world where, let's say, we run into certainty and stuff opens up again, it's probably gonna only just go forward.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you'll ever lose time or not have enough time to indulge in that? Because just listening to you talk and watching you talk, not to say obviously that one means more than the other, but there's been a lot more excitement from you talking about the busking than there has been obviously the normal stuff. Not in a bad way, but it's like you really lit up. So do you worry like?
I think the reason why I'm so excited about the busking is because that's like very much like present in my life right now. Like my songs that I've finished, like my EP and my next single that's coming out on 30th of July.
Okay. Which you might have heard in this.
Might have heard. They've all gone to be mixed and mastered.
Yeah.
So for me, I've kind of like closed that little box off, that project, and then now I'm just focusing on, I guess, like getting my confidence back with performing again, and then alongside writing my next project. But that's until this comes out, then that's it. I kind of go in different stages. It's like I've done the writing for that and recording. Now I'll do a bit of performing. Then I probably won't perform as much, but then I'll be in the studio writing again. So when all my music comes out, then I'll be really excited about that.
No, that makes perfect sense, man. That makes sense. Running from that, we're back with the lighthearted stuff. Before we go into like things like, future plans and things like that, this is more again for people to get a feel for you, but not just asking, what's your interest and hobbies? What I'm gonna ask is, okay, Alice has got 30 minutes free, just 30 minutes free in a day. What does Alice do in those 30 minutes? This is technically it could be your day to day, but it's more like you've had 30 minutes, something that you like to do and sometimes you find you don't have the time. You've now got 30 minutes. What does Alice do in those 30 minutes?
I think about going to the gym. Sometimes I make it, sometimes I don't. I like to think I'll go. No, I do like to keep fit. I'd probably go to the gym like 2 or 3 times a week, but if I have half an hour, well, there might be some eating involved.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you, man.
Literally, my life revolves around singing.
The singing,
eating, friends.
What
else do I do? I probably might just want to relax, actually.
Don't blame
switch
you
off.
with this world.
Because sometimes it is nice to just completely switch off from music. I'm not gonna lie. When it's so like heavily like part of my life, it's nice to just spend time with friends and family. Maybe like give them a call or just switch off for a bit.
That makes sense. So that's a good one. I like that. Because I think it's good to having the stuff separate. And sometimes when you feel like you haven't got that time and you're clawing for it, I think it's a horrible feeling, man. It's like, I'm doing what I like and stuff, but there's so much of it. It's like, what about the other things that I don't get to do that I can do maybe behind closed doors?
I do have hobbies. I love horse riding. I can't really fit that in quickly in half an hour.
I know what you mean.
That would be like my ultimate escape.
Oh, do you know what? That gives me a good question. So let's, sadly, by the way, I don't want to break your heart, put music to the side. She's like, music's out of the question now.
I've got to have tough skin in this industry. So.
I know. Alice gets paid for the rest of her life doing something. What is Alice doing like to get paid? Like, obviously, I've only said that. No music. So there's no music. And obviously, again, this can be anything like you've been thinking of or stuff you enjoy. That it's like, let's say someone's gone, you know what? Everything you wanted. Material-wise, financially-wise, everything that will make you happy in that sense. Maybe not so the stuff like you get inside from music, but all the external stuff, you can get that from something for the rest of your life that's not music. What would it be? What would you be happy doing?
When I was younger, I'd said to myself that I was going to be a horse riding instructor in the morning and a hairdresser in the afternoon.
That's it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to do that now. But that's like what I wanted to do when I was younger. I think I would probably want to work with horses.
Okay.
Doesn't really pay the bills.
Yeah. But in this case, it will.
okay, in this case, in this
remember,
little dream
it's literally
world,
gonna, yeah, it's
I'd
gonna,
quite like to
yeah,
live in
it's
then.
gonna, it's gonna pay,
yeah.
it's gonna cover you, man, everything.
Yeah, I would.
Work with
Then
horses.
I've just worked with horses. Whether I feel like that's quite boring.
No, but it's whatever you want, and
it's
again,
just very peaceful
do you know what I
for
mean?
me.
Yeah,
And
see.
I've grown up doing it, and it's like something me and my dad have shared together as well. Like he
Yeah.
always, so it's a very special kind of like hobby.
Oh, I know the
Yeah.
guys at home are just clutching their hearts and but yeah, no, that was nice to know. But as for Alice, again, I loved hearing you like perform live and then obviously listening to your singles and stuff. What has Alice got planned for? I guess not just this year, but you know, just for like long term. What are you looking to achieve like in this like from now to, you know, over the next? I guess I don't want to say 5 years. It's so cliche, but yeah, just what are you looking forward to? Because again, now that COVID's happened, I originally wasn't a person that liked to plan because I like to see where life takes me.
100%.
But now it's like something is added to the uncertainty all the time.
Yeah.
So you must have been thinking about the future, of course. Like, what's Alice like looking forward to?
I think I
now going
actually do
forward?
that too much though.
Is it?
I think about the future too much, and I know they say, you know, a lot of successful people have like their 3-year plan, 5-year plan, 10-year plan.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do have things in mind, like I want to release my EP, which would be like a short-term goal, an album. I'd love to perform at festivals. I'd love to have my own headline show.
Yeah.
I'd love to even support like a big artist. Yeah, all that kind of thing that I haven't had an opportunity to do, and I feel like COVID definitely stops that. I really was on.
I was about to say, I feel like you wouldn't have had a problem if this really did hit a lot of people hard, man.
I feel like some of those I would have achieved if it wasn't for COVID, but equally I've had the time to write my EP. I was always sort of chasing myself with singles and like, I need write this, release. But now I've got the catalogue, I can actually focus more on other stuff like performances. But yeah, no, those kind of goals for my music. But I feel like now I want to take every day as it comes. I feel like I'm actually happier doing that.
It's where I remember when I wasn't too happy with life in itself. I was always worried about my future, things I couldn't control.
Yeah.
And it's like, why am I doing that? Because I can't control it. So I was like, you know what? I'll live. Today's Sunday. I'll do whatever I can on a Sunday. Not think about Monday till it's Monday.
Like if I'm happy in this moment and everything, I'm safe. I'm making music still. I'm doing this. Everything's fine. Like living that moment. I think that is the biggest thing I've probably learned coming out of COVID and this year and like growing up.
Yeah, that's my lesson as well. That's what I learned. I love it, man. I love it. But yeah, with that, just to round off, it's really gone quicker, and it's been actually so. For me, it's been nice because it's just you hear. This is why I like this stuff. You hear the voices, you hear whatever, and it's only ever a DSP or a YouTuber. You never, most of the time, you never get to know, and then you get to know, and it's so lovely. But if you had like any advice right now. Because again, you look like you really, you know, your journey already and there's only more to come. But if you had advice that you wish a younger Alice could hear, which again, there's going to be probably a lot of upcomers, young or even, I guess I don't look at the whole old and young thing anyway, but people are probably going to be upcoming or doing it and just, you know, thinking or running through similar things. What do you wish you heard that you've been through, like you wish you heard like back then when it happened, or just any piece of advice you think is good for people, you know, doing music right now that you think, yeah, guys, you need to hear this sort of thing?
Yeah, I think if you really, really want to be a musician, like I do, and I have, then just believe in yourself and do it. Because even as a 17-year-old, I thought, no, I won't ever get signed. 17's so young. People get signed at like 21, 20, like older, even like 30s. And I wish I'd known then to just don't doubt yourself. Just don't doubt yourself, because there's people that believe in you, and you're not too old. Because that's been the biggest thing that I've been pranging about the last, even when I started, I was like, I'm releasing my first song at nearly 22. But then what's come of that, I don't think mentally I was probably ready before. I wasn't mature enough. I didn't know what to do. So how can I put everything into it? So yeah, you're not too old, believe in yourself and just go for it.
No, I really like that advice, because I feel like our generation, I'll actually include myself, like, I told you earlier, like, I literally, it wasn't until I was 23, 23, it hadn't hit me at all. You have people going, Ebbs, you should do this. You're good at this. You're good at this. And then, but you're just stuck and you don't know what, and you're thinking, why are you telling me that? And nothing's happening. 23 is when it hit me, like, I want to do this.
Yeah,
so
100%.
I feel like that advice you gave is probably going to help a lot of people, because you got your social media, everything in everyone's face, and you can't run from thinking, yeah, we're too old, we're too
And
this.
don't care what other people think. I'm still working on that, I'm not going to lie.
It's a tough one, that one's a tough one,
But just
man.
do not care what people think, because especially with like the busking thing, if I cared what people thought of me in that street, there's thousands of people that walk past me. Some probably think I'm awful, but some think I'm very good, and it's those people that I will listen to.
Oh,
but yeah, just don't care what people think.
Smile and the thumbs up thing there, but yeah, man. I mean, that was a really nice interview. I mean, we're gonna round up, and I'm gonna say, before you do your little, give you this time to plug what's coming out and things you want to talk about. If you've now got the time, one message for your fans and future fans, anything you want to tell them. That is a proper
That's the hardest question of the interview.
Wow, you know what? I'm sorry, but it has to be done. These people are probably gonna, want to listen and hear what you've got to say.
What do I want to say to them?
Anything you want to tell them. What they could, like, wait for me, or just don't lose me. I'm gonna keep. Things like things
yes,
like that
there's big things coming. I've got lots of music coming out, which I think is the most important thing. And you can come and just see me busking, because I'm sure I'll be somewhere near you at some point. So. Yeah, come and have a chat.
Yeah, there we go.
Just wait for my music, because you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, there we go. And I'm sure you guys will actually, if you tuned in and you would have seen in between all the live performances, she's a fantastic vocalist, man. And
Thank you.
yeah, anything you want to plug, like projects-wise, singles that are already out, performances that you've got out there, you can do that now, and then, let them know where to find you on socials and things. Stage is yours.
So I got my first single coming out on, well, not my first single, but of this year actually, called You Are Enough. It's out on the 30th of July, and then following that will be my EP that'll be releasing in singles. Not sure on the date yet, but if you follow me on social media, you can find out more. And my @ is It's Alice Kubë, and my surname's spelled K-U-B-E. So yeah, follow me on Instagram, mainly TikTok. I don't really use Twitter, do you?
Yeah, if there was no Twitter, there wouldn't be an Ebbs. That's what I've got to say. Yeah, not in a bad way. It's the truth. I'm more of a.
Follow my Twitter.
No. I'm more of a. I'm getting used to Instagram now, because I'm the opposite. Yeah, I find it easier to network and just get your stuff out there on Twitter than it is.
See, my platform is Instagram mainly, and TikTok.
Yeah.
TikTok's amazing for
really
busking as well. So, like my busking videos. Yeah, but follow me on Twitter, Instagram.
But yeah, no, they'll all be there for you guys anyway. But yeah, that's been me on CGpresents, myself, Ebbs, and obviously Alice Kubë over there. I hope you've enjoyed, and peace.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.